Bradford, the great wool town of the north. But it's a long time since the white rose flowered in these streets. It takes a lot to make Yorkshiremen march. In October 1972, they did.
Right, well, we've come from Manchester to support this meeting because we want our country to be not have so many immigrants. We've no room, we've no jobs, and our poor lads are fighting in Ireland while our own country's being invaded.
I mean, the situation we've got now is that you can't find jobs, accommodation in your own towns. I don't come from Bradford. I'm here today to support the Bradford people because they've been left out. They don't get a say in what's going on. They're pushed up here, people are, the coloured people. They're put into an overcrowded situation and it's just leaving chaos behind. And we're going to try and salvage something from that.
I mean, we can't really accommodate them with jobs and houses when we need them ourselves. Help them by all means, you know, after we've helped ourselves, but...
And a lot of the factories down here, they're employing approximately 12 blacks to 1 white.
What is the problem? All right, I'm a Scotsman. I'm living in London. I've come all the way from London, but I am a Britisher. And I am here, and I feel there is a great problem here in Bradford. I'm not a politician. I'm a working class man. I'm a member of the British public. I spent 11.5 years in the British forces. I spent it in the Airborne and the SAS, and I'm here now marching for these people. Because to me, we have been sold out all the way along the line by Heath, Wilson and everybody else. And I am not a politician, and I don't want to be interested in politics. Just a member of British politics, British public. That's all.
There's too many people in the country, yet they keep letting these immigrants in, knowing very well that the mass majority of the British people are against this immigration.
We've got enough in Bradford, let's keep them out. We've got enough here. We've got enough over here. We've already got unemployment around this area, and we ought to see them kept out, the rest of them. We can stand so much. They've brought us too many over, and we are going to stand for it. We're going to fight against it.
A British working man. That's how I describe myself. A British working man, no less, and that's all. I'm just fed up and tired of being pushed from pillar to post. The British people can't get away in where the immigrants can. They get everything laid on a plate for them, they get money laid out for them just when they want it, and we get nothing. Sweet and simple nothing. All I want is the best for my children and my family and my people. That's all I want. Just the best for my people and my country.
Notting Hill Gate and North Kensington in the heart of London, areas of trendy attraction, and yet ghettos in embryo. This is Geoffrey Baber, local councillor.
The interesting thing about Notting Hill Gate, and where it differs so much from the other main immigrant areas, is that it doesn't have the real problems that other community areas such as Smethwick or Brixton have. Thanks to the borough's work, there's no more real housing problems or educational problems in Notting Hill Gate. However, Notting Hill Gate has for a long time been the real political focal centre for immigrant troubles and reaction. And this is largely centred around a restaurant in All Saints Road called the Mangrove. Now the Mangrove restaurant has been seen by many immigrants as a focal point for black influence, black culture and, unfortunately, black power. The owner has tried to run it in a reasonable manner, but he, as a weak man, has been able to be influenced by the anarchists in the Notting Hill Gate area, some of whom are white and a minority of whom are black.
It seems these people exploited the inability of the owner of the Mangrove restaurant to keep in with the requirements of the borough and the police about hygiene and the normal management of a restaurant. And they've seen every attempt by the police to keep the running of the restaurant within the law as an attack on black people, or to use a common phrase, police harassment. As a consequence, following a police raid on the Mangrove to investigate a licensing problem, the anarchists in the area organised a march to take place as a protest about this alleged police harassment. Thousands of people met outside the restaurant and marched through the area. The police asked the organisers of the march to let them know its route. The organisers refused. The march was deliberately led into a small street which contained a number of building skips full of broken bricks. Needless to say, at the first opportunity, the marchers threw the bricks at the police, and full-scale riot erupted. What is interesting about these photographs is that most of the marchers are white. In Councillor Baber's opinion, the area is a prime example of exploitation of a minority group by those whose intent is not to help them, but to create total anarchy.
Over the last few years, millions of pounds have been spent by the borough in the Notting Hill Gate area in order to bring up the housing standards to an acceptable level. This, as you can see, has now almost been completed. If the immigrant allows himself to continue to be exploited, it foretells ill the future.
So what then is the answer? Does anybody know? Enoch Powell. That nation will be ill-counselled which allows its statesmen to predict only what it is pleasant to hear. Former Home Secretary Reginald Maudling. How can we reconcile repatriation with our desire to make one single community in this country? Sir Robert Mark. Give me a good batch of young immigrants as police cadets and I can promise you a real change in the atmosphere very quickly. And this is Mark Bonham Carter. When he was chairman of the Race Relations Board, he said, "It's only a short-term problem." There may just be time, though it would seem that we are already at the 59th minute of the 11th hour. To discriminate does not mean to hate. It means to distinguish or to choose. Is there a choice left? And if there is, what then is yours?